in the release comparison to that flows in daily from Russia. And certainly we'll continue to follow this breaking story and provide updates on WNYNewsNow.com. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast today. And even though bad news at the pump, Dakota, we do have kind of some good news in the sense sunshine has returned.
Yeah, so the sunshine is out and it's going to help you feel a little bit better. If you had to fill up today, at least the sun will make you feel a little bit better out there. But 3 inches of snow on the ground in Falconer. This was what fell overnight, and then through the early morning hours, 1.2 inches in Cattaraugus, and here in town, only 2/100 of an inch, and also the same thing in Lakewood. So again, we had a little bit of snow, same thing that we had forecast yesterday, and the snow is pretty much tapered off now. But we do have partly to mostly sunny skies out there, and it's going to remain that way through the afternoon. We topped out at 54 yesterday. We started the day at 24, 73, and 17 below are the records. So through the afternoon, partly to mostly sunny, a chilly day. This is below average, but at least the sun, it's that nice solar radiation. 32 to 38, the breeze diminishing, 8 to 17 going light through the rest of the afternoon. Now, we do have a couple storm systems we are watching for the week, but temperatures, we'll talk about where they're headed with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
All right, Dakota, of course, we will see you back coming up in just a little bit. Thank you for that. And we're monitoring new information today about a 16-year-old who's now facing charges after allegedly fleeing police following reported strong-armed robbery in Jamestown. Jamestown police officers responded to that crime on the city's east side around 4:40 on Monday. When officers arrived on scene, they found a teen fleeing in a vehicle. Shortly after that, he was taken into custody, and he was found to be in possession of a loaded handgun. He's charged with second-degree criminal possession of a weapon and was later released with an appearance ticket because of New York's Raise the Age law. And Chautauqua County's church's supplies for a Honduras mission trip were destroyed following a fire in Bemis Point on Monday, with the blaze likely started after a man seeking shelter from the rain entered the shed. The Bemis Point Fire Department, along with fire crews from Asheville, were dispatched to St. Timothy's Church on Route 430 for a storage shed fire around 7 in the morning. When they arrived on scene, they found one storage shed completely engulfed in fire, jeopardizing a second building on the site. First responders then said that the buildings were not occupied at the time and that there was no danger to the church or other buildings nearby. They quickly contained that fire and extinguished the blaze. Firefighters say an unidentified man was found on that scene. He told personnel he entered the shed to get out of the rain and cold while in there. They say he started a fire to keep warm. Within minutes, that spread to the contents inside. The man was turned over to the Chautauqua County Sheriff's deputies for further investigation. And lawmakers got a first-hand look at the planned renovations for West 3rd Street in Jamestown. After the look there was drastically changed in 2020 when oak trees lining the road were cut down. Our Bronson Rasmussen was at that meeting and provides these details.
Mark Rotzer and the Parks Department showcased their plans for the area to the City Council at their Monday night meeting.
All new lighting. They're the typical candlestick lighting that we have down 3rd Street for the rest of 3rd Street across the bridge, as well as replacing trees along that stretch of road.
With the help of Jamestown's arborist and parks manager Dan Stone, new trees of many different species will be planted alongside the road. Other improvements will include a new sidewalk, lighting, and underground electric lines to 3rd Street homes. The plan of the renovations is to bring new life to the area after the locally famous cathedral oak trees were torn down due to safety concerns.
That's one of the benefits is going to be all new sidewalks, all new trees, the candlestick lighting to kind of bring the ambience of downtown, moving down that 3rd Street corridor.
The project has not been finalized by City Hall yet. Instead, Mayor Eddie Sundquist wants to wait to hear from the public.
We are planning on having a community meeting on March 14th, which is a Monday night. There is no council that evening. It's at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be at Healing Word Ministries Church, right off of 3rd Street there.
The meeting is open to the public and will provide a more detailed presentation with the goal of hearing opinions on the renovation. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. Funding for the project was outlined under the American Rescue Plan. And officials in Chautauqua County are asking residents to take a broadband assessment survey in order to better invest in high-speed internet infrastructure. That survey is hosted by the state's Department of Public Service in order to better map broadband infrastructure across New York. Chautauqua County recently approved funding from its American Rescue Plan Act to build out broadband infrastructure across the county, specifically in areas that are unserved or underserved. The survey will aid local leaders in determining areas that require and deserve an investment. That survey takes about 5 to 7 minutes to complete and will assist the agency in accurately reporting where broadband infrastructure exists and where it does not. It's posted online. A toll-free broadband assessment line is also available. We have a link to that and that number at WNYNewsNow.com. An important note, that survey must be completed by March 18th. A championship celebration continues in Sherman after the girls basketball team won the Section 6 championship. The local fire department escorted those champs back to Sherman High School yesterday following their victory. The Wildcats defeated Pine Valley Central School 59-37 to claim the Section 6 Class D New York State Public High School Athletic Association championship. Sherman High advances to the state regional on Saturday near Rochester. If they are victorious, they will move on to the state Final Four in Albany in 2 weeks. Certainly good luck to the girls there. As WNY News Now continues, the push ahead of St. Patrick's Day as law enforcement is gearing up to crack down on drinking and driving. And later, as the Russian invasion of Ukraine continues, we check in with the efforts in our region to help out. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The Finger Lake region of New York is slated to receive $172.5 million in state funding as part of the state's 2023 budget proposal. Governor Kathy Hochul announced the news at Monroe Community College in Rochester Monday. She outlined several state investments, calling it a new era for the city of Rochester. Some of those announcements include a $100 million investment towards the Inner Loop of North project, $42.5 million towards the Seneca Park Zoo, an additional $10 million for upgrades to Frontier Field. Her administration also previously committed $6 million in proposed funding to help the Rochester High Falls State Park project. Hochul also announced a new concept plan and launched a public input session for that phase.
If you went to downtown Buffalo, if you ever went to a Sabres game or you're downtown, you saw how decrepit and what a brownfield, just a wasteland it was around there. And now it is a center of vitality and life, and it's really put us on the map. That same experience is happening before our eyes here in Rochester, utilizing the most beautiful river, the Genesee River, which is spectacular, and all the assets that were taken for granted. I mean, you put factories on rivers, you block the view from the rest of the world because it's a source of energy for you, but you forget the fact that these are natural wonders that need to be cherished and shared with others.
Furthermore, the state plans to invest $31 billion into education and $10 billion for the healthcare workforce. Well, St. Patrick's Day is just 10 days away, and local law enforcement officers are learning how to spot unsafe drivers. PennDOT on Monday hosted a training in Cambridge Springs, PA, welcoming officers from around the region. They're focused on catching all unfit drivers, not just people who had too much to drink. Officials say different drugs cause different reactions, so someone could be badly impaired but not showing signs of being drunk.
Impaired's impaired. Our job is to train the officers to spot that, to get them off the highway, to successfully prosecute so that those individuals can get the treatment that they need, hopefully, to modify the behavior.
Officials say as the holiday approaches, be smart, don't drink too much, and if you've been out drinking, get a ride home rather than getting behind the wheel. And as the Russian attack on Ukraine continues, this crisis has weighed heavily on people's hearts and minds across the world, including here at home and in our nation's capital. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp shows you how people are now supporting Ukraine.
As the Russian aggression continues, people across the world have protested, donated, and showed their support for Ukraine in many ways.
And people here in DC are trying to show their support for Ukraine. I'm standing outside of Ukraine's embassy, and as you can see right behind me, people have put out flowers and signs to show their support for the Ukrainian people, and people passing by tell me that they hope that this conflict will end.
Overwhelming flowers, symbolism of love.
This man stopped to take pictures of the display, even helping put together the flower arrangement after some fell due to the winds. His friends' relatives are in Ukraine.
My only hope is just peace for everybody and stop this unnecessary war.
Others passing by, taking photos or reading signs have the same message: to end the conflict.
Like it says, peace for these people, freedom. They're fighting for their survival. Everybody's pulling for them. Obviously, the whole world's cracking down on old Putin because Putin's lost it.
Others tell me as this conflict continues, people add more flowers, more signs to this display, hoping for a resolution.
I have prayers for their president. I have prayers for President Putin as well.
What are your prayers for Putin? Are you
for him to for peace, for him to understand the love of Christ, for him to realize what he's doing basically to these people.
At the Ukrainian Embassy in Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. Meanwhile, in recent years, Pennsylvania has not only deepened business connections with Ukraine, but also provided opportunities for Ukrainian businesses to thrive in the Commonwealth. In fact, the Keystone State is home to over 120,000 Ukrainian Americans, the second most of any U.S. state. And now Governor Tom Wolf is reiterating his support for the people of the country, as well as their relatives and loved ones living here at home. Almost 2 weeks after Russia first launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Pennsylvania continues to divest from Russia. Last week, their Liquor Control Board instructed all 5 wine and good spirits stores to remove Russian-made products from their shelves. Wolf now says the Commonwealth needs to do more than just cut off Russia. He's calling for legislation to provide $2 million to support Ukrainian refugees who might come to Pennsylvania.
I also urge the General Assembly to provide $2 million to the Office of Refugee Resettlement to help support Ukrainian refugees displaced by the war. That funding would allow us to support community-based resettlement agencies across the Commonwealth as they provide services to Ukrainian refugees.
Now, Wolf says he would sign legislation that requires divestment of all public funds from Russian assets, something that the House Republicans there have recently announced. Coming up, more on gas prices as they continue to rise here at home and around the nation. We're checking in with the latest at the pumps. And later, a 130-year-old shipwreck found in the Great Lakes. What historians have to say about that find. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
This winter, let New York State take your breath away. Come be a part of it. Plan your winter getaway at iloveny.com.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for a look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm. And real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now. With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Well, welcome back, everybody, and wanted to give you a live look over the Mill Creek Mall in Erie. If you are traveling to Erie today, you will have no weather hassles to contend with today. We've got a good amount of sunshine out there for this Tuesday, and it'll be a great day for any traveling that you do need to do today. And if you do want to get out on the ski resorts, again, we are getting close to the end of the winter season for many of the ski resorts. Actually, Cockaigne officially closed over the weekend. So, yeah, now if you haven't gone out, now is a good time to get out there. The bases are still decent along with the surfaces as well. So if you haven't gone out on the ski resorts yet, now is the time to do it because they're going to be closing here pretty soon. 31 as of noon hour. We have a healthy west wind of 14, a wind gust of 18. This wind is going to start to subside as we go through the afternoon hours, and the wind chill down to 21. So knock it 10 degrees off, and that's what it feels like outside right now. But the temperatures are really kind of going up and down here. It's kind of like a spring, up and down, up and down. We go 35 today, 36 tomorrow, up to 49 on Friday, but then we're knocked back down into the mid-20s by the time we go into Saturday. So yeah, temperatures just continue going all over the place. We have high pressure that is built in across much of the, much of the region, but this is going to scoot on out, and then we're ultimately going to see some snow showers arriving tonight. Look at all the lightning strikes down across the deep south there. Oof. Over 500 and some lightning strikes. Woo, lots of weather down there, but it's quiet around here today. Now, we will see the clouds starting to thicken up a little bit through the later part of the afternoon and especially into tonight. Now, here is the better chance for the snow showers. This is going to be by the morning, so tonight will be dry. This is right around sunrise time tomorrow morning. We are going to see a few snow showers coming our way. These are going to continue through at least mid-afternoon. Then they will start to taper taper off as we go into Wednesday afternoon or later Wednesday afternoon. We start to dry out again going into Thursday. So again, the better chance of snow tomorrow really will be in the morning. So snowfall totals insignificant. We're looking at about nothing to about an inch. So again, you can see where where the snow will likely be further off to the east. Once you're further to the west, you'll likely see nothing through the night as well. So the school bus stop forecast for tomorrow morning, 28 with snow showers. So bundle up the kids as you send them off to the bus stop. 36 as they're heading home tomorrow afternoon. And there will be a few rain and snow showers, but I do think much of a later afternoon will be dry. Now, how about the future? Powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So 36 tomorrow. Mostly snow, will change to a few rain showers, bright sunshine on Thursday, a pair of 4s, a few scattered showers on Friday, and then temperatures go back down below average for the weekend, Justin, but it does look like we rebound into the mid 40s, by next Monday.
So not quite ready for the Bermuda shorts and the golf course yet.
Not quite.
But
not quite.
It's coming. Sooner than later, Dakota. Thank you. Look around the nation now, and this one goes out to all the ladies because Tuesday is your day, International Women's Day. It's a call to action to continue fighting for women's equality, to take a closer look at what still has to be done to create a world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. But it's also a chance to recognize how far women have come, socially, economically, culturally, and of course politically. A day to celebrate. You can watch all the ways you can show up for your women in your life, for yourself and for others. This day has been marked for more than 100 years. It started back in 1911 and is now celebrated around the world. And the U.S. Supreme Court has rejected a bid to reopen Bill Cosby's sexual assault prosecution. The court on Monday left in place an opinion by Pennsylvania's highest court that overturned Cosby's sexual assault conviction. Cosby was convicted in 2018 for drugging and sexually assaulting a woman in his home in 2004. He was sentenced to 3 to 10 years behind bars. He was released from prison in June 2021 after the state Supreme Court overturned the conviction, saying his due process rights were violated. Well, expect some sticker shock the next time you have your vehicle to the service station to be refilled. Gas prices in the U.S. now hitting levels never seen before, thanks in part to the uncertainty caused by the Russian invasion of Ukraine. John Lawrence taking a closer look at where prices stand across the nation.
The cost of filling up is going up.
88, yeah. That's a lot more than I thought it'd be.
According to the Oil Price Information Service, the national average for a gallon of regular gas is $4.14 as of Monday night. That breaks the record set during the summer of 2008 by 3 cents.
We're definitely watching our pennies on where we spend it, but for the most part, it's kind of kicking our behind.
Analysts say the crisis in Ukraine is fueling the latest price hike.
Because of the actions of President Putin, because he invaded a sovereign country, that created instability in the markets.
While the White House said oil producers have the profits and permits to drill more, some Republicans say the situation can be improved from within.
This White House seems determined to go hat in hand and beg every bad actor around the world to ramp up their own fossil fuel production, but still will not stop their holy war against our own American energy production here at home.
Americans probably won't be getting a break in the near future. The Oil Price Information Service says a national average of $5 a gallon is possible. Many California commuters are already paying more than that.
Not a thing. There's nothing to do except deal with it.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
All right, John, thank you. AAA reporting Chautauqua County's average price now at $4.28 a gallon. That up from $4.14 on Monday. It's a 14 cents increase. Next, a TikTok trend has cops singing Celine Dion, and a 130-year-old shipwreck found pretty close to us in the Great Lakes. That coming up next. Stay with us.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Finally here today, the latest TikTok trend is putting men and women of law enforcement on the road to viral and music stardom. Jeremy Roth takes a look at this and more.
Watch these police officers lip sync Celine Dion and your heart will go on. Uniformed public servants are getting in on the latest TikTok tune trend called the Baby 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 Challenge. Crooning cops from Connecticut and Oregon got in on the viral fun, doing their best Dion to the 96 hit, It's All Coming Back to Me Now. Many police departments are using social media music challenges to connect with their communities, highlighting a lighter side of law enforcement life. The videos show that when they aren't protecting and serving, just like everyone else, they tick, they talk, and they too get funky. A priceless discovery was recently made at the bottom of Lake Superior. A 130-year-old shipwreck was found 35 miles off Deer Park, Michigan. The Atlanta sank in 1891 and sat undiscovered until it was found in the summer of 2021. The Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society describes the find as wonderfully preserved and still beautiful. Well, it may not be truly priceless, but at a record sale price of $2.5 million, this rare Toyota just became the most valuable Japanese car ever sold at auction. Only 351 Toyota 2000 GTs were ever built, but this one is the rarest of the rare, a lone collaboration between Toyota and legendary race car designer Carroll Shelby. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. Boy, what an expensive motor. Certainly going to be a lot to fill that up. Let us know what you think about this and more at WNY News Now on social media. If we can go back to the officers for a minute, I think JPD might have to get involved in that. That would be interesting.
Well, you know, I've seen JPD getting a lot more active on their Facebook page. So
whoever's behind it's a genius, by the way. Like, so creative with some of their stuff. I know over the holidays I saw a couple posts about how you don't want to be the Grinch, and it was referring to keeping safe and being a good person and not doing illegal stuff. So I don't know. I'd love to see them get engaged in a viral video, and I'm sure it'd trend. I'm sure it would, because that page is probably one of the busiest for sure.
But I still don't understand TikTok though.
Yeah, no. I watch it. I've never made one, but I enjoy the videos. They're funny. The attention span, they definitely cater to that 5-second attention span. That's for sure. Because
but then
they're
again,
no more
if you
than
didn't
5
understand Vine, you don't understand TikTok.
Right.
So.
How about that shipwreck? I mean, that's something. When you look at it and you think about, okay, Great Lakes, Lake Superior, obviously, I think they're the farthest from us.
Yes.
But nevertheless, for being there for a century, and now we're just finding it. I've always wondered what's at the bottom of these big lakes. So it's
there's always mysteries at the bottom of these lakes long before we knew about it.
Yeah, no kidding. So I wonder how many shipwrecks there are off of, say, Dunkirk. I'm sure it's probably a pretty notable amount. Send Bronson out there.
Sure. Send Bronson, send Matt, Andrew, somebody.
I think it'd be a good Bronson story. Well, that's it for us today. Of course, News 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this look over downtown. Have a great night.